Hi guys, hope you are all super well. Decided to jump on and do another live video, and the reason for this one is I did one last week, and it was a talk about the Roman emperors, and I think Julius Caesar specifically. I can't even remember now. I've been doing so much on it. I can't remember where I got sort of like turned on enough to do a video about it. But what was interesting was in the video, someone made a comment about stoicism. A guy called Niraj, who I know quite well, who is a sales coach and has written a book called Everybody Works in Sales, if I remember correctly. So check it out if you are needing help with your sales. Anyway, shout out there for you, Niraj. Anyway, let's move on to, I thought, let's actually talk about stoicism and what is it, because it's certainly something that I have explored a lot more and read some of the sort of like, I've read a couple of books about it, and Marcus Aurelius, who is one of the Roman emperors, is kind of known as sort of like the godfather of the Stoic teachings, and I honestly believe they are so crucial, considering these were done like 2,000 years ago. They're even more crucial now to understand what a Stoic mindset and behaviour is. So, okay, let's give it some context. So the underbelly of what Stoicism basically is understanding that there is a problem and being okay with the problem. No, it's being okay with your thoughts about that problem. So that's what you actually have control over. You have no control over the situation, the problem, whatever it actually is. It's what you do have control over is the story that you tell yourself. And that is where the power becomes real. So if we look at something like anxiety, for example. So, excuse me, got to keep myself hydrated. If you understand something like anxiety, which is a word used more and more, and I think most people have experienced it, and if you haven't experienced it, you will certainly know someone that has. Personally, I have gone through it myself, and the idea is actually with something like anxiety, you look towards that as being something actually quite helpful. Because if you are experiencing anxiety, that suggests there's something not quite right within your world or what's kind of going on right now. And there needs to be some change, or there needs to be some growth within you. So if you could start to look as anxiety as something in terms of like it's setting something off in me to realise that I need to go to somewhere different or somewhere new, or I need to learn something, or I need to, then it's so much more powerful. And if anything, then you may even start to seek anxiety because you know within there you've hit a boundary and surpassed it, and you're in uncharted territory. And I'm trying to think of like examples if you could do that. I mean, an easy one is, let's just imagine you go into on holiday into a country, let's just say Italy, funnily enough, because that's obviously Roman Empire and that sort of stuff. So you go into Italy and you go into a shop or a restaurant and you try to order something in English. However, the waiter or the shopkeeper can only speak Italian. Now, there's going to be a stress and anxiety that starts to develop for both of you, because obviously you want to purchase something, they want to sell you something, but because the communication is not the same, it's a different language, a struggle occurs. Now, there's many ways that this could go. In terms of starting to act it out, maybe going onto your phone and Googling what it is, and eventually it could come out there. But the stress and the anxiety there start to sort of like highlight themselves as a situation that is difficult. If you decided to learn some Italian before you went to Italy, and you knew that, and it's kind of funny because I always used to try and do things like this. I say always, I didn't do it so much for Italy, but I would always try and learn just some real basic phrases. So when I went to Nepal and climbed Everest, I learned the basics of Nepalese, like the thank yous, the please, can I have, those kind of things. And what happens is you can then talk a little bit to the person within that country. And what does that do? It reduces, doesn't eliminate it, because the chances are you won't be able to speak it fluently, but it reduces the stress. So that's just one example that I can think of, and obviously there can be countless more. Okay, I want to finish off with 3 Marcus Aurelius's quotes, and there are hundreds, maybe not thousands. I mean, basically the guy was a philosopher, and whilst still ruling an empire, and there's 3 that I've kind of like dug out and I've just scribbled to the side here that I'm going to read out and give you hopefully a final understanding of what I believe stoicism is and how it served me, and possibly Niraj as well. So the first one is, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realise this and you will find strength. So obviously this just goes back into what I was saying right at the beginning. It's not the problem or the issue or the situation that is the problem. It is your thoughts about it. The second one I adore, this is one that I actually go quite frequently. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. I mean, my goodness, how incredible and powerful is that? Now think about it. When you are consuming news, social media, critique kind of content, let's just kind of say, don't you automatically feel a little bit more negative? But if you are reading an empowering story or a great, I don't know, hearing a great song or something like that, naturally you feel more happy and positive. If you could create your thoughts to be of an area of, let's just say, gratitude, being thankful for what it is that you're kind of going on, the table that you've got in your office, the cup of coffee that you've just had to go and buy from the supermarket, well, coffee filter stuff and all that sort of thing, then that is where happiness could potentially truly lie. And the last one I think is, again, very powerful. You are formed of 3 parts: body, breath, and mind. The first 2 are yours insofar that they are only in your care, but the third is truly yours. And man, I get the goosebumps when I say that. I mean, this Marcus Aurelius really was a flipping clever chap. The body, it disappears, it goes, it will end back into the ground. The breath, there will be a last one, and that's it, no more. Your mind is truly what is purely unique to you. The thoughts that you have, the behaviours and all this sort of stuff, they all stay within here. And then when you're gone, so are those thoughts. Unless you're like Marcus Aurelius and start writing books and preaching and stuff like that. Anyway, I hope those, bright light. I hope those 3 quotes have resonated or hit home with some of you, and that you've enjoyed this video. And please, if there's anything that's kind of like, I mean, like I say, Niraj made a comment, I think, on the YouTube video about how stoicism would help him. And if you make a comment, I'll pick up on it. And if I've got something to contribute or to add, or even a question, then I'll do my best to try and like sort of answer, if that's what it is. I can't claim to be any sort of like massive guru. I'm on my own journey, and I figured out some things, and I'm lost in others. And I think that's pretty true of pretty much anyone and everyone. Anyway, have an amazing, incredible, a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you again soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye now.